Hello you, it's me. Today we're going to talk about Gwendy'S Button Box by Stephen King and Richard Chizmar. This one was put together by King many years before and kind of sat on his desk until Richard Chizmar suggested doing a collaboration and constructed an ending to the story that King was very happy with. It's very short. This is going to be a teeny tiny review. This is one of the Stephen King read-along books that we read for February this year. The link to that Discord will be in the description down below. Feel free to join. We'd love to have you. This one, because it's so short, will be full spoilers after I've talked about the plot, but some stuff will be marked on the time bar. In this book, we follow Gwendy, picking up with her as a child who is very unhappy with her appearance. They're approached by the mysterious Richard Farris. Anybody who's familiar with Stephen King's work will know the significance of the initials RF, who bestows upon her a button box. This little wooden box, he tells her, have buttons on the top that correspond to places, with a button for every continent, and he leaves it very open-ended as to what these buttons do. A red button that does whatever she wants, and a black button that she must never press. It also dispenses valuable silver dollars, and sweets that totally satisfy and prevent all cravings, which is a godsend for somebody that is unhappy with their physical appearance. We follow her through coming of age and into young adulthood, seeing the key events that shape her as a young woman, and how the box, with its promise of power, its mysterious function, shape and direct the pivotal moments in her life and the person that she eventually becomes. Stephen King is a big child main character writer and a big coming of age writer. But whenever I read his stuff, I'm always surprised by how well and non-patronizingly he writes children, without underestimating their intelligence. I get the impression that late teens were a pivotal point for Stephen King, maybe even the time period that he measures everything else against. He revisits it in his work a lot and really manages to capture the feeling of being that age. A lot of his stuff with younger protagonists does make me feel very nostalgic. I thought that in terms of his other stuff, this feels most similar to Needful Things. Due possibly to Chizmar's influence, this isn't very horror, I don't think. I think a lot of people automatically shelve Stephen King books as horror because Stephen King is the master of horror. What this feels like is a short story stretched out to fill an entire book using lots of illustrations, using a lot of space on every page. This could easily have lived inside a novella collection like Full Dark, No Stars, but I feel like it could have been longer. I would have liked to explore more the emotional toll on Gwendy from keeping a secret like this. There were characters I would have loved to explore more, like the old man that comes to her rescue with a flick blade inlaid with the silver words Semper Fi. There was a lot of stuff I feel like could have been dug into, and it was a real shame that it wasn't. I don't like when books are unnecessarily long, but this felt very abrupt, especially due to every chapter being about 2 or 3 pages long, and in between each chapter there being a time jump of multiple weeks, multiple months, even multiple years. This is a book about overcoming temptation, yes, but it's also about how power can appear sinister, but really only just be power until somebody decides to do something sinister with it. It's a tool until somebody puts intent and direction behind it and makes it into a weapon. I think a big part of this book could be a metaphor for international conflict and war, with all the big decisions being made by somebody sitting in a room with a button who's never met any of the people their decisions are going to be affecting. Death by whim, suffering let loose at the hands of one very clinically detached person. I do want to talk about how I don't think Gwendy is a good person. She is told that the red button will do anything she wants. She gets it in her head that all of the buttons assigned to continents are going to cause suffering, are going to cause death. And with this knowledge in her head, her test run of the box isn't, oh, I'll use the red button which can do anything I want to do something nice. It's, I'll push the South America button and see what happens. She never tried to use the red button once for something other than destruction. Did she assume the gift she'd been given was only capable of destruction, or did the fact that she assumed it was only capable of destruction, was that reflective of Gwendy? Off the back of that, Gwendy led a very charmed life because of the box. The treats she ate out of it made her smarter, made her more physically attractive, made her more healthy. She got money out of the box, and a lot of it. Was she only able to resist doing evil things with the book because she was having a lovely time? Was she only able to resist doing bad things with the button box? Did she have no need to do them because she was living that charmed life caused by the button box? What would have happened if she'd had the box, but it wasn't affecting her life personally in all those positive ways? Was it always impossible for her to have made evil decisions because the box was making her good? It's very, very unclear at the end what Richard Farris's motivation in giving her the box was. The way he presents it, he comes across as some kind of trickster entity, sowing the seeds of chaos, but then says he's deliberately chosen her because he thinks she's the right person. Gwendy thinks that she's responsible for the Jonestown massacre that happens very soon after she's pressed the South America button. Farris tells her that she wasn't. So, what did the South America button do when she pressed it? Did he lie about her not being the cause, or did he lie about what the buttons do? I feel like at the end of the book, this was trying to convey some kind of message to me. I feel like the message might have been not being evil is all it takes to be a good person, which is a terrible message because don't be evil is the absolute minimum you should be doing. So it's probably not that. That's probably not the message. I think maybe it's a metaphor for growing up, getting power over people around you, getting influence over the people around you, and having to choose what kind of adult you want to be. Overall, this is a fun book. It's a very cool what if scenario. Feels kind of Twilight Zoney, but I think maybe the questions the book makes you ask about yourself and the space it leaves you to mull over the implications of what having such a strange, powerful toy would do are more scary and interesting than anything that actually happens to Gwendy in the book. So I'm going to give this one 3 stars. Thanks for tuning in for my review. If you like sci-fi, don't forget to join our sci-fi book club. If you want to join our Stephen King book club, link to that will be in the description below, along with my Goodreads and Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you soon for the next review. Bye.